Good afternoon, Chicago, and welcome back to another edition of Moises Palacios Sports News Update. I'm Moises Palacios, reporting to you live from my living room. Our top story today is the NFL strike of this year, 1987. As many of you already know, on September 22nd, the NFL Players Association went on strike after asking unfettered free agency to set free or keep free from restrictions or bonds. How did the league respond? The league responded by learning from their mistakes in the 1982 strike and canceled the sold-out September 28th game and started looking for replacement players. Replacement players consisted of retired players, recently cut players, minor league players, and undrafted college players. Some teams started searching for replacement players before the strike. Others, like the Chicago Bears, were fumbling to recruit and only had 21 bodies at their first practice before games resumed on October 4th. The replacement players were known as scabs. Fans took advantage and would ask NFL players for autographs while they were picketing, but only some fans supported the cause since right after fans were going to watch the scabs play, while others joined the strike in favor of the NFL players. Here in Chicago, the scabs were known as the Spare Bears. Many viewed scabs as a joke and only watched them play for a laugh. But for the replacement players, it was only a way to make decent money, and it was their only shot in playing in the NFL. A rare chance to play the game they love and at a professional level, even if it was only temporary. The amount of scrutiny these players had to endure, with all the name-calling, having things thrown at them, and even threats. I was able to catch up with some of the replacements in the locker room, and here's what they had to say.
This has been a real good time. It's an opportunity to play some football and make some money. And if it's over next week, it's over.
You know, whatever happens, happens. But, you know, we all had our day in the sun today. It was real fun.
It's all right. We may be scared, but we're the best ones.
That's it. It's something I remember for the rest of my life, you know. Even if I don't play another down, you know, I played these first 3 games. They feel wonderful.
I don't anticipate going back and playing any more football. Certainly the opportunity that the Chargers gave me, they made some of the dreams that we had as a family become a reality.
I had the opportunity to ask the coach, Mike Dicko, what he thought about the replacements. Here's what the coach had to say.
Well, it's an opportunity. What they do with that opportunity is entirely up to them, but it's up to the commitment they're willing to make. And I'm easy to get along with as long as the guy breaks his butt. When I think a guy's dogging it or taking a short way out, then he's got no way, because I never did that. And therefore, a guy should have no problem playing for me if he's willing to do that, and if he likes to win, because that's my only goal. And we've done that. We've done it in our style, and it's been a good style. It's been a fair, clean style of football. We play very hard. And I don't ever want that to change. And when I think we're not playing hard because people aren't putting out, then they're going to have a lot of problems with me.
Here's more from Ned Potter in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Ned?
Ed Too Tall Jones, Mike Renfro. Those 2 Dallas Cowboys were among the players who broke ranks with the Strikers today. On Sunday, the All-Star Jones will chase a New York Jets replacement quarterback named David Norrie.
They know the reasons that they went back, and the players know and understand why. Hopefully in the future we'll get back to the table, but right now we'll just have to wait and see.
When the replacements play this weekend, a great deal will be on the line for the Strikers, the team owners, and all the businesses that depend for their success on football. The Strikers, of course, hope that these games will flop. The owners hope that whatever the quality of play, enough people will tune in.
Well, I think you're going to see exciting football. Football's competition.
Thank you, Ned. We'll be back to you with comments from some of the coaches around the NFL. But for now, let's see what's been happening this past few weeks. One of the main reasons the owners decided on using replacements after the 1982 strike was the new signed television contract on which they would only get paid for the games played. This would take 60% of their revenue. With the largest attendance in 1 week in Denver of 38,449, the average attendance increased after the first week but was not at the level of the pre-strike. Most clubs offered ticket holders a refund for all replacement games. To go in a little more detail, the NFL strike on September 22nd of this year, 1987, was the product of the past, with each previous strike as early as 1956 when the National Football League Players Association was formed. Players have considered striking against the owners. Players wanted to be reimbursed for expenses during training camps. Over the next several years, players attempted something against owners, but always went back to the field. In 1968, 1970, 1974, and 1975, players held a training camp strike. The owners countered with a lockout and either hold their ground or give in a little. In 1982, a new television revenue from the owners from $5.8 million to $14.2 million. So the players wanted a bigger share, creating the 1982 strike lasting 57 days. And now let's go back to Ned, who has more information from the coaches and players that lost revenue and are suffering.
Let's just say I'd prefer to be playing a regular game with the regular people.
So far, 250,000 tickets have been returned, and nobody knows how much the television audience will shrink. The big three auto companies have already pulled all their ads.
This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Chrysler Motors.
Organized labor is behind the strikers. At a rally in Philadelphia Sunday, they plan to ring the stadium with noisy trailer trucks.
There's a pivotal time coming up this weekend, and we want to be able to provide all the assistance we can.
Everybody says that they'll remain solid and they'll stay out the entire season if they have to, and we just have to see if everybody will do that.
They're not. The number of strikebreakers keeps growing. Not very large attrition yet, but to the strikers, increasingly demoralizing.
Just to continue to prove history does repeat itself, this year, 1987, another new television agreement for the owners paying them $17 million annually created yet another strike from players wanting a bigger piece of the pie. Getting back to the issue on hand, not only were there 28 club owners, there were also 28 representatives, a chief negotiator, a 6-member council executive committee, a 9-member policy-making boards for players, and other union executives, all with their own opinions and views. The player disputes including wanting higher wages for shorter careers, with an average player playing 3.2 years as opposed to the professional sport. Many veterans played with the careers with some disability causing pain their entire lives. NFL veterans are believed to have shorter lifespan, which is why players are seeking to maximize their income with shorter careers. Negotiating also included free agency. Free agency is important labor management dispute in professional sports. Being a free agent allows players to sell their service to several teams instead of just one. Many players believe that their free market value is higher than their salary. Owners only made small changes towards this issue. Even though TV ratings and gate sales were down, it was the NFL players who were hurting with no backup plan or funds to help support them during the strike, which caused many to cross over picket lines. Slowly but surely, gate sales increased and fan curiosity on the replacement's performance on the field. The strike ended on October 15th, with NFL players hoping to resume play that weekend, only for the owners to say they had the 14th as the deadline to be eligible to play that weekend. The players' unions immediately took owners to court and later won the dispute, winning their pay for that game. Who knows, maybe one day we'll be sitting back watching a movie about the replacements. I wonder who will be playing me. That was another great edition of Moises' Sports News Update. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next year. Good day, Chicago.